Hello and welcome. My name is Paul, and this is Paul vs. Paranormal. Today, Rob and I
Hello.
are going to be discussing a UFO encounter from the 80s. It was the evening of the 28th of November, 1980. PC Alan Godfrey responds to reports of cattle wandering around a council estate in Todmorden, West Yorkshire. What Godfrey reported to have seen that night changed his life forever.
In what way did it change his life forever?
You'll find out.
Excellent.
Yeah. So just a bit of a background information. Alan Godfrey is now a retired police constable of the West Yorkshire Police. I think that's probably obvious since the first sentence referred to PC Alan Godfrey.
The 1980s?
In the 80s, yeah.
So
And
like
West Yorkshire, so I think that all kind of...
40 years-ish now. That's a
Absolutely,
bit of a space of time.
1980, it's a bit more than 40 years. Godfrey claims that during patrol on the evening of the 28th of November 1980, he saw a bright light hovering above the road, describing it as a rotating diamond-shaped object about 20 feet, that's 6.1 metres to you and me high, and 14 feet, 4.3 metres, wide. Now, Godfrey tried to radio for help, but strangely his equipment didn't work. The object then suddenly disappeared. Godfrey, finding himself 30 yards, that's 27 metres, further down the road, couldn't account for approximately 30 minutes of missing time. He had a split boot and an itchy red mark on his foot. Now remember the itchy red mark on his foot for later, because I have a theory about that.
Interesting.
During hypnotic regression, Godfrey recalled how a beam of light blinded him and made him pass out, before waking up inside a room being medically examined by small beings and a humanoid. I think that means small humanoid beings.
Yeah.
Typical, by the sounds of it, it's the typical greys.
Yeah.
You all know the Greys. If you've ever watched Stargate, it's the Asgardians.
Yeah.
They're not cool like Marvel Asgardians, weird little grey things. And they're all named after the old gods of Asgard. Godfrey believes he was forced into early retirement from the police force. Now, I read another article which actually said that he retired due to being a police officer with kids, and his kids having to live with the knowledge that the dad was not only a police officer, but a police officer who had a UFO encounter.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I've also heard other stories where he'd had encounters with a suited individual who was believed to be from maybe the Home Office or the Ministry of Defence.
So we're talking like the equivalent of the smoking man from the
Yeah,
X-Files?
basically, yeah, the smoking man. And he quizzed him about it, and he didn't like him, he says in an interview.
Yeah,
he really didn't like him.
So the equivalent of the British smoking man came to visit him.
Yeah, basically. That's a better analogy than I've heard so far.
Yeah.
So,
The smoking man was a sinister character.
he was probably...
So I'm not surprised his
absolutely,
description is he didn't like him.
No. Yeah. I mean, if the smoking man came to meet me, I'd ask for his autograph first. The cigarette smoking man, as I believe he was actually called.
Yep, cigarette smoking man.
Yeah, I'd just ask for his autograph first because he was one of the coolest characters in the X-Files.
Yep.
He
was a cool dude.
Yeah, after all the mysterious ones that they kill off quite easily and early on in the shows, Mr. X. Then there's another guy that was giving Mulder information, killed him off. Mulder, they killed it. No, they didn't kill Mulder off.
Well, he disappeared, didn't he? And then he came back as a bit of a loony.
He was abducted by aliens in before the last seasons or whatever. And then Robert Patrick came in. Now, in 2018, Godfrey stated his belief that the abduction he told under hypnosis was probably a dream, stating that he had never actually said he was abducted by aliens.
Right. I mean, it sounds to me as if it could have been a drug-fueled trip kind of thing. LSD, people see things.
Police officers in the 80s doing LSD? Well, I don't think so.
No, you mentioned he had a slip boot and a mark on his foot.
Yeah.
Potentially. Someone could have held him down. Stabbed him with something.
I think he'd remember that, though.
You never know, do you?
Well, no, we don't know. And that's the problem with these kind of cases, is we don't really know. Now it takes a twist.
Okay.
Because 6 months prior to this, Godfrey was sent in June 1980 to investigate the death of 56-year-old Zigmund Adamski.
Okay.
Adamski went missing on the 6th of June. His body was found 3 days later on top of a 10-foot high, that's 3 metres, Todmorden coal pile, 20 miles from his Tingley home.
Okay.
He'd gone out to do some shopping and never returned. He was wearing a suit, but his shirt, watch and wallet were missing. His clothes were improperly fastened, and his hair had also been cropped short in a roughly cut manner. Somebody had given him a haircut. He had strange, unidentified burns around the back of his head, neck, and shoulders.
Yep.
Godfrey told reporters that he believed it possible that Adamski had been abducted by aliens and placed on the coal pile by someone or something, saying that he was open-minded. Other theories put forward the suggestion that Adamski was killed by the KGB. Or that he had been struck by ball lightning.
That had burnt off his shirt.
Yeah, and cut his hair. He became dazed and confused and wandered off to the coal pile and died. Adamski's wife, Lottie, initially suspected that her husband had been kidnapped.
That sounds like the most likely thing.
Yeah. Now, obviously there was an autopsy. And the coroner was carried out by a man by the name of James Turnbull.
Okay.
So he was a coroner who dealt with Zygmunt's death, saying that it's the biggest mystery of his career. Now, if a coroner can't figure out the cause of death properly...
Now, this was a coroner in the 1980s.
I know, yeah. We're going back to the 80s, yeah.
They wouldn't have had the same level of equipment and stuff that they've got now. Like, I'm sure if needs be, they could do like an ultrasound and stuff to check a patient. But,
yeah.
I mean, usually they'll just cut stuff open, won't they?
Yeah. Now, I've sourced this information from 2 different places. There's a bit of a contradiction of information here.
Okay.
Now, the coroner was baffled because although Zygmunt had been missing for 5 days, previously stated 3, but this says 5 days, he'd only had 1 day's growth of beard. Now, the difference between a day and 3 days and a growth of beard, I know what my growth of beard is in 3 days. It's almost like I've only just shaved. So it's between 5 days later, might be you'll be able to see I need a shave at that point. So I don't know with that one. That's a bit of a
I don't think that's a. Not everybody's hair grows at the same speed.
No.
I don't think that's a trustworthy bit of info. That.
Yeah, but we're not experts when it comes to facial hair.
Well,
and we're not
rocking a
coroners.
full beard, I think I have a bit of a say in it.
Yeah, not being able to grow any hair whatsoever, I'm baffled. So,
no, you do. You can rock a goatee if you want.
I can grow a little bit. I just don't like to. The coroner says that the question of where he was before he died and what led to his death just could not be answered.
Well, he was clearly moved to that coal pile.
Yeah.
There's no way he climbed on top and then just laid down
and died. Yeah. I mean, if he was already dead before he got there, but we don't know. Again, this is one of those mystery deaths that we no idea.
Yeah, I think the burns on the back of the neck suggest electrocution or something, a contact burn.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, head, neck and shoulders, it's close proximity. I mean, back, head, neck and shoulder, it could be in a straight line. Could be 3 different parts. Yeah.
He could have climbed on top of a coal pile and stood up and yelled out, "I'm the king of the world," and then got hit by lightning.
Yeah, struck by ball lightning.
Burnt his shirt off, cut his hair, and left burns on the back of his head. Yeah, okay.
I think it's a bit... But burning his shirt off is probably a bit far-fetched, but his shirt was missing. So to be honest, to me, I'm leaning more towards kidnap and torture.
It sounds like one of the unsolved mysteries of that TV show that used to be on telly. What's it called?
Gladiators.
Yeah, Gladiators. Unsolved mysteries.
Yeah. The coroner also said there was a strange ointment that appeared to have been used on Zygmunt's wounds.
The burns.
And the burns, which could not be identified by forensic science of the 80s. I don't think it's been checked since then. I'm assuming there probably isn't any samples left.
Well, I kept it well.
No. So exhaustive checks failed to reveal any record of Zygmunt having been treated at any hospital during the missing 5 days. we're going again. It's going between 3 to 5. Wikipedia and a BBC article. There's a bit.
Yeah,
There's 2 days inconsistency there, but we'll say 5 for good measure at the moment.
Yeah.
It was at this point that questions began occurring regarding the origin of this inexplicable ointment and who had applied it to Zigmund. It was not just the usual investigators, the police and coroners, who were attracted to this case. One of the most famous ufologists of all times, also called Adamski, offered his own amazing theories on the tragedy. He believed aliens from outer space had abducted the Yorkshire miner by mistake.
Just accidentally pop into Yorkshire and go, yeah, we'll take this lad.
We'll take this guy. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's pop him on a coal pile.
Oh, all right, you jokers. Who's cut his hair to look like the guy we're after? Yeah, okay. This isn't Don Johnson. He's wearing a shirt. Oh, take it off.
Surprisingly, over the past 40 years or so, there's been many claimed sightings in the Pennine Hills around Todmorden.
Okay.
And it's regarded as one of Britain's UFO hotspots. But serious UFO watchers dismiss most of these sightings as just lights in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that there's a test area.
Yeah, it's probably just plain. Yeah, I mean,
what's the word I'm looking for?
Military aircrafts.
No, that's like experimental military.
Experimental.
Tech,
all right, okay.
That sort of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, lights in the sky. On a normal day, you can barely see out. To be honest, it's usually overcast.
We're not going to visit the Pennine Hills to do a podcast day out because, I don't want to get probed. Yeah, just putting that out there.
Yeah,
just to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to look at theories for these, but I mean, what other theories really are there other than the
what I'm interested
kidnapping
in is
and torture?
Based on what you've read, what is your theory as to what's happened?
For Adamski, the death, I think it's just abducted, kidnapped, tortured, and then placed there.
Car battery took back at neck?
Possibly. Like I said, don't really know the shapes or there's no real description of the actual burns themselves as the damage. They could be round, they could be small, little.
Yeah. It's not like you can have a look and see these autopsy photos and stuff.
I mean, I'm not Googling them. But I'm not Googling that. If you want to look.
Oh, no. I get involved in that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I lean more towards kidnapping, torture.
Okay. And the police officer then?
I mean, my original theory, and it goes down to the split boot and the red mark on his foot, was electrocution.
You think he's stepped on something or?
Well, originally I thought struck by lightning.
So if he's ended up down the road, he could have been
30 minutes. Yeah, he's struck by lightning, knocked unconscious. Car rolls down the road.
Lost 30 minutes.
Lost 30 minutes. Yeah. So basically, looked at his watch. It's 12 or whatever time. It wasn't 12. I think it was like 5 in the morning. Looks back. It's past. It's probably as an example. I think lightning or electrocution. Maybe something in his car backfired. His equipment wasn't working. His radios weren't working. I don't know the layout of how they are in the car. Maybe he'd pressed something, it shorted out, zapped his boot, and
could it have been
knocked him out.
Could it have been raining heavily at the time, and he's trying to use this thing, and water's got in the circuits, and
I don't know how powerful police radios were in the 80s, and what kind of batteries they'd have had, or
I'm guessing it's going to be less
battery, more
wider car, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he was in the car when he got shocked, but I mean, it could have been, like I said, lightning flash. That's your bright light.
Yeah.
It somehow travelled through his car, shocked his foot. I'm clutching at straws here now, but I don't know. But that's my original first thought. The other thought is equipment in his cars shocked him and knocked him out.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, there always is the theory of aliens.
Yeah.
Because we've no proof they're not out there.
No, that's it.
So, there's the universe is that big and vast. It would be stupid to think we are the only intelligent life. But again,
intelligent,
semi-intelligent life.
Yeah.
But again, the vast distances that we'd have to travel to get to another possibly inhabited planet
it wouldn't be in anybody's lifetime.
No, even with warp technology or hyperdrive or whatever, wormholes, it would, fictional,
fiction-based.
fictional forms of travel. It's still going to take too long. And just to come and grab a couple of guys from Yorkshire seems a bit of a wasted journey.
Yeah, imagine that. You come away from there in the 1980s, you could have like these superstars who would have been a famous movie star in the 80s.
Famous Yorkshire movie stars.
Yeah. We came for Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean, and who did we get? Oh, this Bobby, and 6 months earlier, the other bloke. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against them,
No.
They're still human like everyone else, but, it's not like, they're picking, I'm just going to say, it's not like they're picking the cream of the crop, is it?
No, I mean...
A copper and a coal mine. It's like they might as well come and get me from call centre I work in. Yeah, we thought we'd crack his head open and see what secrets he's holding.
It's empty. So yeah, it's, to me, I think, I mean, I'll be honest, you know me when it comes to aliens. I'm not a big believer in a lot of the UFO sightings. I think it's usually, a lot of them when you see them, particularly when you watch these YouTube videos, I reckon a lot of fake. They're all fake, all misidentifications of aircraft or drones.
I think he genuinely thinks that this has happened.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think he's convinced, whether it's anything real or not. Yeah. Then in his mind, it is still real.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where either it's a sad case of somebody breaking from reality, or something bad has happened to him. Yeah. Somebody's potentially done something that's then left him traumatized in such a way that his brain has produced these mental gymnastics of
he's created a scenario that he can live with. But then again, he left his job. He lost his job because of it. So
it's a sad state of affairs, that sort of thing. Instead of again, it's going back to the 80s and stuff. Yeah. Back then, they wouldn't have had the same mental health support that we have now.
And you would have, there'd been a stigma around, going back.
Absolutely. A copper as well.
30 years ago, paranormal encounters, people didn't talk about them. People didn't talk about UFOs. There are people that did go around. There's one in the US, which was a guy called Travis Walton, who I think he was a logger. Somewhere in America. He went missing for several days, and he claimed to have been abducted. It's not. You don't. Well, you can get some fame and notoriety from it. You're not really going to make, unless you sell books about it. Yeah, you're not really going to make much money off of this, and you're going to get more people ridiculing you and accusing you of making it up than you are people believing you. So for somebody in a position like PC Godfrey, he was in a trusted position in society as a police officer. For him to make something up wouldn't really be logical. Yeah. Are you familiar with any other famous UFO encounters?
Can't say I am. I don't know that the singer from Blink-182,
Todmorden,
he is a big believer, and I think I want to say
he
when
left Blink-182 to
for a while. I think he was doing UFO hunting and stuff. Yeah. It'd be so cool to have a chat with that dude.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
What he believes,
along, if you ever listen to this podcast and want to have a chat with us, please do. So obviously there's Roswell, 1947.
Roswell, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that I don't really count that personally because I think it looks like they were
too far-fetched. It was a weather balloon.
You watch, hold on, am I mixing up? It's Area 51. I'm thinking of a pitching little dude on the table that there was like, it's a real alien we got.
Yeah, that was the...
That was Roswell incident,
that was the alien supposed to have been found. Yeah, the alien autopsy, but that was proved to be fake anyway.
Yes. Oh, so, yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole
Ant and Dec faked it. So...
Ant and Dec?
Yeah, Ant and Dec, yeah.
Ant and Dec went back in time to fake it?
Yeah. You've not seen the film?
No.
There's a film with Ant and Dec.
Oh, man.
They're the ones that fake it in the film.
Right, I'm with you.
They do it in real life.
I'm with you. Yeah. They actually made a film. I forgot they actually did of other stuff than present
actors,
Saturday
just,
TV.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not just Saturday TV program hosts, absolutely. There's the Rendlesham Forest incident. That was also in the 1980s. It was actually December 1980. Yeah. Which was a craft seen in the woods by US military personnel.
It was very popular in the 80s to get abducted, wasn't it?
I think seeing any lights in the 80s was quite popular.
I think maybe we need to now Google what drugs were prolific in the 1980s.
Everything.
But basically, yeah.
But this which is the Rendlesham Forest incident is a famous incident.
Yeah, okay.
Even high-ranking Air Force, I believe it's Air Force.
Oh, I think I may know this one. Go on.
Personnel.
Yeah.
So what happened is a couple of nights, at some point in December, a couple of guys on patrol or soldiers within the base saw some lights in the forest, so they went out to investigate.
Yeah.
By the time they got there, light had gone. A few days later or next day or whatever, light reappears. The entire base scrambles.
Yeah.
And there's a recording by, I think, still Lieutenant Colonel or a very high senior ranking officer has gone out as well to investigate it.
Yeah.
And he's describing what they're seeing.
I think I were mistaking it for one where there was pilots actually flying.
Yeah, there are those incidents as well. There was that famous footage of the Tic Tac UFO where they're trailing the object, and that was recently released a few years ago.
Yeah, I think that's one I might be.
Yeah,
mixing
footage. There's also a couple more. There's one in Brussels, in Belgium, in March of 1990, and one in Minsk, in the USSR, in 1984. I don't really know about those myself, but they're on a list of famous UFO sightings.
Yeah.
So that might be interesting to look into as well, see what those are about. Now, the top two there is Roswell and Rendlesham. Obviously, Roswell was put down to a weather balloon, but nobody believes that. And Rendlesham, they believe that was actually the lighthouse in the distance.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, cover up much.
Yeah. Yeah. A defunct lighthouse that wasn't really working very much. But
it managed to shine a beam of light through the forest.
Through the forest to the army base.
Yeah.
For soldiers to be confused and run into the forest to describe an object and other lights.
Diamond shape.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's diamond shaped or not, but it's... I'd have to look into that, in fact.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. I bet there's some TV shows that's actually interviewed some people.
There's been a couple that have tried to debunk it.
Oh, okay.
There was an episode of Expedition Unknown where Josh went to do it and actually got the lighthouse up and running again. I think they put it down as a possibility, but they didn't say for certain it was the lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
So I won't go into too much detail for the Rendlesham Forest incident, because that could actually be an episode on its own.
Yeah. Sounds interesting enough.
That is it for now. A bit different from the usual ghosts and haunted places. I think it's a bit interesting. It's more interesting to get into a particular story and discuss it.
Looking forward to the next episode, which is going to be the lady ghosts.
Lady ghosts.
Oh, lady ghosts.
Yes, well, we're gonna give it a better title than Lady Ghosts.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I think.
Yeah, I had a look. There's a good list for the female spirits. To everyone who is listening and supporting, thank you very much.
Yes, much appreciated.
Yeah. You're all a bunch of legends.
Absolutely. So I've been Paul.
And I'll always be Rob.
And this has been Paul vs. the Paranormal, featuring Rob. And we'll catch you on the next.
Bye-bye.